Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Powerboat World. It's Formula 3 time and we travel for the third round of the World Championship to Boretto, situated some 150 kilometers southeast of the famous city of Milan. Racing is at the very heart of Italy and the nation's passion. No less so for powerboat racing and the race situated on the broad stretches of the River Po. The teams have travelled here from Dunaj-Város in Hungary, the second round of the championship. Ian Andrews in a very newly motivated mood for 1995. His teammate Dave Astle, the two drivers with their Nordic Steels team, very competitive this year. But no less so for Rudolf Mahaldenetz, the defending world champion in his Valvoline team. Joker he may be in part, but his defence of his World Championship title is extremely serious. The attack on it equally so by Gert Ladervogit, Dane-born Italian resident. He has a Burgess hull with a fully enclosed cockpit. All these drivers powered by 850cc engines, and Ladervogit, don't forget, astonishing everyone at the opening round in Milan when he won outright with his new injection system. Steve Hill, very fast, highly competitive, took the Greek event by storm at the end of the 1994 season and very motivated in 1995. Another Hungarian in a new type of boat. First introduced at the Milan race, Markus Laszlo brought the ASV hull from Russia and showed just how competitive it could be. Ken McCrory in number 31, the new Castrol Sigma team.
The problem that we've got out there today is, as you most probably seen, is the driftwood. There's a lot of driftwood out there, and that has caused quite a lot of problems to in fact, every driver. Every driver has come back with complaints of either propellers being bent or gear cases being bent. What that basically has done then with the qualifying times is that a lot of people aren't driving my crew to their full potential. I'm certainly not pushing my boat as fast as I could do because I just don't want to go out there and break something.
Bonandrini, his teammate, smiling in the paddock, but certainly not in his comments.
Have you seen how many dirt there is in the water? All of us destroy the east prop. That's a big problem because we are trying to get the pole position. We are using the best prop and it's impossible to test. It's impossible because we are destroying the prop.
That are available to them on the water and the pace that they're able to make. Debris floating down the river resulting from heavy storms in the north of Italy has wrought havoc on their propeller stock. But Rudolf Mahaldenetz has managed to snatch pole position. Markus Laszlo not so happy with his qualification time, and Ian Andrews confident as ever in this new calm and relaxed style that he's adopted to his racing. Mr. Consistency is becoming known as. And the whole effect is rubbing off on his new teammate Dave Astle. His performance has certainly improved since his introduction in Formula 3 last year. The locals very supportive of the racing on the river here. Welcome to Boretto, and Giuliano Landini, the local driver, receiving a great deal of support personally for his competition in the Formula 3000 Italian Championship, which takes place here this weekend as well. So, Boretto on the River Po, the venue for this third round of the World Championship, and you can see the boats lined up there. They've been craned in prior to the flag parade, and Rudolf Mahaldenetz leading the parade, flying the Hungarian flag on the top and the Italian flag, the host nation, underneath. His fellow countryman, Markus Laszlo, in that very distinctive ASV Russian hull, yet to be proved on the podium, but it's looking very fast in testing. Paul Blackburn, don't forget, so desperate for World Championship points. No less so Ian Andrews in number 9. A Burgess hull similar in design to that of Paul Blackburn's. Gert Ladervogit, he won the first round of the World Championship, he could win here. Guido Bonandrini, yet to win a Formula 3 race, but has come so close and was on the podium in Milan. Guido Ongaro, his teammate, and Steve Hill in number 52. A Grand Prix win has yet to come his way. It could be soon as well. The drivers making their way up to the start pontoon. A very popular time this, the flag parade, when all the crowd get to see the drivers. Kai Kerpala from Finland in number 50. Arild Setem from Norway in number 17. From Switzerland, Ivan Motter in the classic silverboat Burgess. From Holland, Roger van der Slijs. The crowd gathering along the banks of the river, waiting for a great day's racing to take place. So, the Haldenets in pole position, but not first off the grid. Marcus Laszlo is in second, Blackburn in third, and away from the pontoon, and Blackburn takes the lead. McCrory is very fast, Bonandrini is incredibly fast, with Gert Ladervogit not far behind, and Kai Kerpeler very close as well. Slowing a little into the turn when the pack becomes very tight. A sharp left there through turns 1 and out of 2. There's Gert Ladervogit in the Lindap, Wercon Burgess alongside Guido Ongaro, and Ken McCrory very, very close behind. But Paul Blackburn in number 91, leading the way. Such a strong position for him. Paul Blackburn in the lead is a very, very dangerous position for all the other drivers. Clear water giving him a distinct advantage. Bonandrini then, what a great day for him. In second place at the moment. The other drivers packed very tight round, and that's McCrory absolutely side by side there with Guido Ongaro powering away in the Castrol Sigma Burgess and chasing the lead. But the lead being challenged by his teammate Guido Bonandrini. And here comes Bonandrini down towards us. Perfect trim on the water. Spectacular speed in this third round of the Formula 3 World Championship. And Bonandrini, I think, can sense a great opportunity here. He's within 1 second of the gear case of the race leader. And behind him, he's got the defending world champion, Rudolf Mahaldenets. Kai Kerpeler from Finland being challenged hard here by the Hungarian. Marcus Laszlo in that ASV hull. Don't forget it was second on the grid. And it's very, very fast in the race. Marcus Laszlo third at the Greek race, the final round of the World Championship on the island of Corfu last year, and becoming increasingly competitive. But the battle right up at the front sees Bonandrini sandwiched between the world champion and the man who would be world champion, Paul Blackburn. The Haldenets really skilled here today, really putting on a show worthy of his title world champion. But he's only in third place, and he's got this man just ahead of him, number 31, Bonandrini. Bonandrini with world water speed records to his name. And behind them all, Ian Andrews, who currently is in a strong position in the World Championship trail with a high number of points, leading the title, number 9. Ian Andrews in the Nautic Steel Burgess, content to sit back and watch the action ahead, but not so for the Dutchman, Roger van der Slijs, taking it nice and easy around the outside, but still maintaining a considerable degree of pace. Andrews aware that the back markers could cause him problems. A lack of judgment on a turn from somebody less experienced than himself could see him taken out of the race, a position he can't afford at the moment. So he picks his way carefully through the traffic, approaching Kai Kerpeler here, who is currently 1 position ahead of him and less experienced in the Formula 3 World Champion, Finnish Formula 4 champion, and someone who is highly competitive on a good day. Our race leader, Paul Blackburn, passing Arild Setem, number 17. Blackburn into turn 1, hard left. He can't afford to rest for a moment. He's got Guido Bonandrini closing on him all the time. Gert Ladervogit moving up through the pack now, as he too passes the Swiss driver Ivan Motter. Ladervogit sensing his time, obviously judging his moment in the race when to make a move for a serious challenge in the lead, and it looks like Bonandrini is taking this now, as Bonandrini comes right up behind Paul Blackburn, and he's so close now, he's in the spray of Blackburn's boat as they come into turn 3. Blackburn can see the challenge in his left-hand mirror, and very cleverly Bonandrini cuts across to the right, making the race leader look continuously in his mirrors as he tries to watch for the action ahead of him. Andrews, with this distinctive position in the World Championship at the moment, aware that he should plan his way through this race very carefully indeed. Blackburn passes Cantando in number 2. with Bonandrini charging hard all the time. This is a spectacular drive by the Italian. Cantando accelerates a little more unwisely, and the boats have slowed. There's a boat on its side there that looks like Steve Hill. Steve Hill's number 52 rolling slowly over on its side. And I think Guido Ongaro rapidly making his way back to the pits with some damage. Steve Hill then in the rescue boat there, being brought back to the pontoon. Very unhappy, I'm sure, with that situation. His boat with a badly damaged left sponson. It looks as if it's completely broken off there. I can't see the damage to the deck, but number 52 will not be competing anymore this weekend. That's for sure. And the damage has only just been repaired from that testing accident. So Hill will be bitterly disappointed. There's the damage to Ongaro's boat. So that looks like a T-boning on the corner. Hill into the side of Ongaro, but who's to blame? Well, that will be for a lot of discussion, I'm sure, after the race. We're in for a restart. Blackburn, Bonandrini in first and second place, and away they come from the pontoon with Marcus Laszlo very fast, but look how fast Kai Kerpela is, dangerously cutting across in front of the other drivers there and challenging for second. He moves into second ahead of Bonandrini. Blackburn, but Bonandrini with a magnificent overtaking manoeuvre there around the inside of Kerpela, quickly inherits second place, Kerpela third, and Blackburn out of all that trouble up in the lead once more. So the fight's still on then for this third round of the World Championship. The winner gets 20 points, and Paul Blackburn could desperately do with that 20 points. Look at the perfect trim on that hull, just the rear tips of the sponsons touching the water, the bullet-shaped gear case providing the power to the propeller. The engines can be lifted as well as tilted by electric switches on the steering wheels. The drivers very, very skilled at getting the maximum level of flight for these boats, and flight is effectively what they're achieving. The underneath of the hull, designed like an aeroplane wing, the surface creating lift, and the air rammed down into the tunnel underneath, lifting these boats out of the water and allowing the drivers to literally skim the surface, which is exactly what our third place man in the race is doing. Rudolf Mihalninets here in number 7. Don't forget, it's his World Championship he's defending, and he needs every point he can gain along the way through the season if he's going to successfully do that. Laszlo has now passed Kai Kerpela. The distinctive shape of the ASV hull, built in St. Petersburg in Russia and supplied directly to this team based in Hungary, and a very successful enterprise too, as Ian Andrews now passes Kerpela as he makes his way, charging ever more towards the front. Van der Slice once more around the outside, and Bonandrini still charging hard in second place. Surely this could be his day then, as he keeps closer and closer to Paul Blackburn. Mihalninets trying to reel in the Italian, but it's not working today. And look how Bonandrini out-accelerates the Hungarian as they head away down the far side of the course. Fighting their way through the spray. Down towards us once more, Guido Bonandrini with the Hungarian just behind, and Bonandrini over. Guido Bonandrini crashes out of the Italian Grand Prix here in Boretto Po. The boat upside down, he'll be unstrapping himself, pushing open the cockpit. Rescue team there, the divers straight into the water. There is Bonandrini safely out of the boat, protected by this device which was introduced nearly 10 years ago now and made compulsory some 7 years ago, the carbon fiber.